Good morning, YouTube. It's your boy Shay T Mac back here again. Yep, got them damn ratchets again. But just want to go over with y'all some long ratchets reviews and things that I have gotten myself in and out of by either being undisciplined using these ratchets or using these ratchets with their purpose and coming out on the good side of it. Because we both know the deal with these long ratchets, and they ain't talking about just 11-inch ratchet. We talking about above 11. We talking about 15, 20, 18, 24s. That's what we talking about today. And I've said it, I can't stress it enough. This ratchet will get you in and out of a bind real quick. I mean, you don't know the torque that you're putting on a fastener when you crank down on these ratchets. And like I said, this ratchet here, somebody put the beat down on it. And I got this ratchet and was hoping to buy a kit. And I went over in one of my other videos that you don't want to touch cobalt right now as for a warranty, but they still a decent tool. Somebody just abused this ratchet. It was a 24-inch 3/8 drive ratchet. Basically, people will buy these ratchets and use them as breaker bars, and I have no problem with you grabbing a 1/2-inch drive and using it as a breaker bar in some cases. And even this one that I made, it was made from the breaker bar from Pittsburgh. I just put the head on it. Well, y'all know the story on it. But I just cannot stress enough about these ratchets. If you new to the field and you ain't a experienced mechanic, this ratchet here will destroy your day, or it will make your day. I have found myself, now I got a lot of them with over, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7, which, let me get down, seat down here, we can talk. And I would walk through each one of these ratchets to you and give you my idea. Now, this not everybody's thinking this. Me, I'm a DIYer / industrial maintenance, and like I said, in my field, this ratchet is glorified. Somebody pull out one of these ratchets, you happy, because at that mill, when you doing maintenance on something and you tired, it's toward the end of the day, and somebody pull out a cheetah bar or something like that, or pull, even a pipe to put on the back of a ratchet, which I personally do not, I do not recommend nobody using a pipe on the end of a ratchet. If you on a ladder, I find myself on a ladder in a man lift, hanging over a catwalk to reach a fastener. I don't even recommend you hang over a catwalk, but like I said, we get tired, we get ready to go home, we find a solution to a problem, we go through it, and a lot of times it ain't all the way thought out. It's just, let's do it and go get out of here. The purpose of these ratchets is to add more torque, either taking it off or putting it on. And most of the time, y'all, if you look at the way the impacts are designed, let's grab an impact. I don't know the exact spec of this impact, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this impact, maybe the air impacts, I don't know a whole heap of specs on air impacts. I always bought them and used them and didn't care about the spec. But this right here, it doesn't have a 110 pounds of air pressure coming to it, and you just about know what you're going to get out of it. This here got a battery. So you want to know the specs on this gun. And my point is, this gun here is stronger in reverse than it'll ever be in forward. So you got most of your strength in that impact gun is taken off a fastener. And if you think about it, it makes sense. You can torque a fastener down to 70 pounds, 110 pounds, 80 pounds. When you get ready to take that fastener off after wear and tear, that fastener is tighter than a 60 pound or 80 pound. You're going to have to go up to at least, I have seen some fasteners that's torqued at 100, and you had to use a gun that was rated 375 to pull it off. The bottom line is, these ratchets are designed to be used in place of breaker bars, as breaker bars, but you have to know what ratchet you can use as a breaker bar and what ratchet just giving you inside the engine bay leverage. You take these first two ratchets, they are 3/8. This one being the weakest one, Gearwrench, this mechanism, all this gimmicky stuff they got going in the back of it. Now, mind you, if you grab the one without this locking mechanism in the back, it's stronger. The cutout for this weaken this ratchet. And then the overall styling of this ratchet called for this shaft to be amazingly thin. And it's about the size of a quarter drive shaft on a ratchet, on a quarter drive ratchet. Now, I wouldn't take this ratchet out nowhere and think that I'm going to use this long handle for leverage, because let me tell you why this ratchet got a long handle. This ratchet got a long handle for you to get an out of reach place. And the reason being is because it's swivel. You see that? With that swivel design, you can still get on your fastener even if you have to go through obstacles, if it's something in the way. So this handle design on this Gearwrench, my glorified Gearwrench, this handle design is more, this length is more for this mechanism in order for you to reach fasteners that's out of the way. But this, ain't no way that this ratchet right here is longer to give you more torque. It's not. And if you use this ratchet as such, as a breaker bar, it's going to fail. And this is not a bad ratchet. This actually a real decent ratchet. And if you looked at the guy, I think his name Chris Fix. If you look on his channel, these ratchets, these 92, they done very well in the stress test. They still hold up to the ratchet specs, you know, to what the UN say that this ratchet is gotta be 120 torque or whatever they call it, 150 torque, 200 pound torque. It still hold up to that as far as this, but you don't want to put this on no 240, but because of the overall design of this ratchet is to get fasteners that's out of reach. So this is not a breaker bar. You don't go and take this, oh, I tried to take the lugs off and broke it. You know, this is not what that's for. This is a specialty item. This ratchet is made to get in hard to reach places with its flexibility and locking flexibility. It gives, with the locking flexibility, it gives you leverage for torque, so to speak, within reason. Not within, oh, I'm just going to do it. If it's going to hold up, it's going to hold up. Within reason, it gives you, you can lock it down and you can get you a little bind on it. But you got to know that all this, excuse me, all this was created for area, hard to reach area. That's why the shaft is so small. That's why it's got this locking mechanism on it, just to get you in an area where a basic style ratchet can't get you. With that being said, this is a decent ratchet, and it's a pretty good ratchet, but it's a specialty tool. It's not, oh, I lock this down and I put torque on it. No, you put that hard to reach places. We'll go over the other ones a little quicker since you got an idea of what I'm trying to say. And just for the sake of a video. All right, here we go again with the same deal, the same exact setup, but by you abusing this, by you taking this, hold my beer and breaking lugs or whatever you done to break this, and Gearwrench listens. Every time you send this ratchet in, they make note of it. Something failed on this ratchet, they make note of it. Notice when Gearwrench updated this ratchet, you got your 120 XP, you got this one right here. This is a 90, but they do make a lock and flex head just like this in a 120 XP. When they upgrade the ratchet, they kept the head and the mechanism. That's their bread and butter. That's what this ratchet is real good at. They try to help us, the consumer, by adding this locking mechanism for us to get in tight places, but we abused it, and they listened. We took this ratchet out, we abused it, so Gearwrench listened. So they came out with this version. I call this the Mako version, and it's an exact replica of the Mako. In my opinion, this ratchet got a real good quality. So it's not that far behind the Mako, and plus the pricing make this ratchet right here a sexy pick, you know. And for anybody that's unfamiliar with this ratchet here, it has the locking my style. It makes sense to me. You ain't got all them levers going on in the back of there like this, like something built by the A-team. But I understand why this was made. I understand that, you know, you got to crawl before you can walk. Technology was this. Now, the technology is this. And I like a company that does that, you know. I like Cobalt. We went over Cobalt in one of our videos. But Cobalt, just now, after, I bet you 20 years, upgraded that ratchet. You were still getting that, I call it prop level kind of prop paws, where you get the two long paws that stick side the gear like this, and it moves over with the lever. They just now moving from that after about 20 years with it. Here go Gearwrench. This ratchet here came out about a year ago. We'll say we'll get better than that. We're just not no proof and not trying to lie or bash a tool company. We'll say this design been out 5 years, right? This design done changed from a 80, 90, 120. It done went from a locking. We got the this here got to the detent, to the locking with the level. Now we got this locking, and that's all in 5 years. This company is excelling. This company is listening to the customers. This company is live data for that company. Every time you send this ratchet back, this company is adding to what the design of this ratchet. And that's the same for this ratchet. They waiting right now. This ratchet just came out. This 2023, I'm gonna say a year to maybe 6 months ago. Gearwrench is now taking live data from this ratchet, and it's gonna put it into the next 120 XP. And like I said, this is a specialty tool. With this going on in the back of this, I know that this is gonna be the shortcoming of this shaft, because there's a hole in it. Whenever you see a shaft and it's got a hole in it, that is the weakest point. So if you look at this, the way it's designed, look how much metal you got on the outside of that button. Not a whole lot. So that let me know this is a breaking point. Although this is suspect, but look how thick the metal is under and above that. So this ratchet here, another specialty tool. This ratchet is designed to flex. This handle is the length to get you out of the way of other components. And plus you can put a little bit more torque than you can put on this one. And this ratchet is not to be used as a breaker bar. This ratchet is a specialty item. Okay, we move on to our next ratchet. This is a 1/2" drive ratchet, and this is a big, bulky, heavy ratchet. No matter what you want to do with it, you can flex it, get out of the way of components. You can, it don't lock now. You can go at your own risk and use it as a breaker bar, but mind you, this ratchet does not lock. So if you put your pressure down on this ratchet, it goes this way, goes that way. You got to know your tool. You got to know that this is not a lock and flex head. This is a detent. It semi-locking. And that's just to hold your position again in this mode. Or you're going to finish the job up, no one change ratchet, hold your position in this mode. This ratchet gives you more of an opportunity to use it as a breaker bar. It's got the same meat and design pattern that a breaker bar. So now, instead of your breaking point being somewhere along the shaft, it's here. Look at your meat. Look at your metal. Now your breaking point is here. If this holds up and this holds up, this will be your breaking point. And my experience with this ratchet, you're not going to break this very easy. This is a 1/2" drive. It's not 3/8. This ratchet is beefed up for the pressure. And I use this in suspension. So this ratchet is not a flimsy ratchet in no kind of way. And like I said, I believe, and I have to go and do my research, but I believe this anvil, which it don't have a hole in it, other than the ball detent, is not a quick release. This anvil will be your weakness of this ratchet. That's my experience, because I done bowled up on this. I know that you're not likely to break this. This is not a pin going through there. This is a bolt, a hard bolt that's protruding through there. And if you do your maintenance on this ratchet and you keep that tight, that's not going to fail you. Your failure will be right here at that angle. But at the same time, you look for things like this. You look for the meat department, so to speak. When there's less meat, there's less to give. When this ratchet fails and it doesn't fail here or in the gears, the only part that it can fail next is going to be these ears that's this bolt protruding through. Okay? That brings us to our non-flexing, non-locking, just straight ratchets. This one here, in my opinion, 24" 1/2" drive Gearwrench. This, in my opinion, is close as you will get to a breaker bar. It's not going to throw you by flexing. It doesn't have a hole to give you a weak point. This is the weakest link. This mechanism in here, this paw in here, is your weakest link. So any failure in this ratchet is going to be inside or this anvil, point blank. And if I'm fixing to bow up on this ratchet, I'm fixing to put my weight, because I use my weight. I don't use pipe bars, because like I said, you tired and you're not thinking properly, and you put a pipe on this and you hanging over something, and you put this in a bind, and your body weight pushing it a certain way that you don't recognize that you actually doing. When that ratchet flexes over like that, you and that bar finna have some issues. And like I say, it's not secure. And no more than what these ratchets cost. I would prefer anybody that use pipes on their ratchet to just buy the longer handle. I mean, if you buy this long handle ratchet and you mess it up, and I have done this a lot of times, because some of my ratchets I bought off eBay, they don't have a warranty. If I break this drive or I break gears inside this, I go out to Track Supply, pay $36 for this. Let me get it for you. This is a 120 XP. I didn't grab the right one. The exact match. Well, it's a 120 XP, so we still on the game on what we talking about. If I break this ratchet and I like this shaft and I like what I use it for, I pay $36. Buy this ratchet right here, take my mechanism out, slap it right over in there. This ratchet here, either I got some in here that I have done. If I break a ratchet, I repurpose that handle. And I got maybe 3 that I've already repurposed the handle. I'll get old hammerheads, stick it on there, and that gives me my money back, so to speak. It justifies me going out buying that ratchet head. But and in a lot of cases, with Gearwrench, you can call in and have that head replaced. And a lot of cases they'll send you out a whole ratchet body. I don't like them sending out that whole ratchet body because you're throwing away a lot of money when you could do like Tecton and just send that gear and the paws and the plates, snap ring. And that right there, if this ratchet costs $40, this here costs at least $20. So if Gearwrench come out and warranty this ratchet and they just send me that, they save themselves a whole nother $20 by not sending the shaft in the body. So I'm not afraid to take this ratchet out there and put it on something. I never broke a Gearwrench ratchet. I never broke them, and because I preach it all the time. This here costs $19, 24 inch. This costs $19 in Harbor Freight. This ratchet here costs about 70 bucks. You make it find it for 50 on eBay. $19. Designed to do just that. Ain't got no gears, none of that. But we talking about using these ratchets as breaker bars. And like I said, I have used these ratchets as breaker bars. But I can feel that breaking point. I can feel when that ratchet is close to saying, nope, we're not going to do this. I'm not going to do it. And then I say, well, if you're not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. And I run in this shed and I grab this and I go out there and do what I got to do. Safe. I got the same setup on my truck. The same thing I preach is here. I do it at work on my truck. I even tell, I got Millwright that's under me that I tell him the same thing. I say, man, you using this in a pipe, go out and buy that ratchet long. Which I don't even use a standard size ratchet at work unless it's a 3/8 drive and I'm taking to loose a motor or something like that. But all my tools to tighten up bearings and all that, they are 15, 18, and 24. I don't play. When I tighten it, I put a locking nut on there, and I want that to be tight for a long time because that mill, stuff falling off every day. And if you can make something last 2 days, that's 2 days you ain't got to work on it. But if you just run it with this and you tighten it tight as you can with this, you're going to do it every day. So a lot of stuff I fix, so I won't have to go back to it right off, which is gone. You got a cap, the forks running into it, you got a log thrown into it, it's gonna break, it's gonna loosen, it's gonna come back, it's gonna come back on you. But the more time that you can put in between that, the times you working on it saves you. Because if you don't tighten it with these, and you prefer to tote this because it's lighter and smaller, you'll be back every day at that same boat. Tighten it, tighten it, tighten it. I put stress on that fastener. So next time I go over there, that fastener's gonna be broke and gone. So I have to add a new one. It ain't gonna be loose. But like I said, that impact is designed to be stronger in reverse. These ratchets give you braking ability. There ain't nothing that you doing on a vehicle that's got to be so tight you got to use these. But it's things on that vehicle that's damaged, that's so tight that you have to use these to get them off. But in that vehicle, this standard size is all you need. You can do what you got. But that's my main purpose of this video. I know we went over this one time before, but the purpose of these videos on YouTube is to show you how to avoid doing things that other people have had problems with. And that's what I like to do. I like to share problems that I had so you won't have to go through it. It's like a father-son type deal, you know. You teach your son right so that he don't have to go through the things that you went through. You give him good advice so he won't have to buy things that he doesn't need or can't use. And he can save money by going out getting the right thing at the right price at the right time. But this would be my idea of you want to blow up on something. You want to come in the shop and say, hey, I just broke a Harbor Freight pry bar trying to take this fastener off. Hey, we make a video about that. That's something to show. But you break this right here, taking the fastener off, ain't nobody want to see you abuse that tool and then try to bash that company because you ain't got brains enough to know that this ratchet is this mechanism and this ratchet goes the length of this ratchet goes hand in hand. Although this is the same identical mechanism in this ratchet, and the length is different, but that's what Gearwrench gives you. It'll give you this same body in that longer ratchet because this tried and true. So you can't take this. Where is it? I got a 3/8 here. You can't take this 3/8 and this length and do what you can with this 1/2 inch drive in that length. Look at the head sizes. No comparison. You take this out and you put it on a 5/8 fastener. I'm talking about the shaft size of the boat, not the head. You put this on a 5/8 fastener that's rusty and stuck, and you crank down this and you break it, you run up in there and tell me, oh, I just broke that gear wrench. You so proud about it. Well, I'm going to look at you like they do make a 1/2 inch drive. They make a 3/4 drive. I'm going to look at you like that. I ain't going to look at that tool and say, oh, that cheap shit ain't no good. I'm going to look at you and say that fella didn't use all his marvels. He ain't using his entire brain. He's stuck on one side of it. Because they offer too many tools to do the right job for you to just go out and abuse a tool and break a tool. Now I can understand if this all you got and this what you got, you working with, you take it out there and break it. And a lot of times, if this all you got and you break this tool, you're not gonna be proud about breaking this tool. You're gonna be sad because you know you ain't got nothing to replace it, and you know that job is over with until you get email confirmation, 2 days, or shipping could take, I think, 3 weeks. With the way things going nowadays, since COVID, you don't get these back the next day. You don't get them back the same week. It's 2 or 3 weeks. So you sitting there borrowing tools because you went out and broke this one. That's why I have so many ratchets. That's why I have generally the proper tool for each job. Because I'm sitting here, and what's between me making $500 this weekend is this tool. And if I abuse it and I break it, this $500 will be made in the next 3 weeks or the next month, or however long it takes. That's the only knock. Now, Gearwrench got a good warranty. I mean, you call in, you say my tool broken. You can email them, you say my tool broken. They gonna come out. They gonna do what they gotta do. I mean, that ain't no problem. But the shipping, how long it takes you to get it. Now, I don't know how Tecton does it, but I broke mechanism in a Tecton ratchet one time, and it was the old ugly style Cobalt and Harbor Freight looking ratchet. Well, I broke the mechanism in it one time, and I think the ratchet was just wore out because I had it years and years upon years. And I think I bought it used on eBay to start out with. And that was before I had an arsenal too. That's when I was just a little tube. This would be my, when I was the 90 and 100 piece set, and I had my wrenches and all that in that one box and towed it around. That's when all that was about. It was way before I, went on and said, hey, if I'm going to work on vehicles, I got to have my tools. I got to have, if I'm going to be a surgeon, I got to have surgical tools. And that was before that, all that. So when I did reach out to Tecton, the next couple of days, it was that same week, I had my mechanism, my gears and everything to put in that ratchet, and I'm the next weekend I'm done with that job. So that's another. And again, I love Tecton, I love Gearwrench. That is the main reason why I have a local store brand in my box, because opposed to taking a picture, going to the website, loading it on the website, getting in contact with the associates, all that's a process. You looking at 2 or 3 days. I don't care who's doing it. Tecton, you looking at 2 or 3 days. AutoZone, I'm gonna grab that ratchet. I'm gonna go in AutoZone. So this is broken, and I'm gonna tell you, I did not break that Tecton ratchet. I'm gonna tell you exactly. This here just made me remember. If you're familiar with your truck toolboxes, I didn't have a liner inside my toolbox, and one day I grabbed that ratchet out there to use it, and not paying attention. These bolts had backed all the way out, and they was missing. I hung that ratchet over in the engine bay, and it fell to pieces. And I bet you that's the same thing what happened to this. It was reading to death. If I say that right, roll. When you put it in the toolbox, it rides, it shakes and trembles. This ratchet probably was reading to death. And that ratchet fell over into that engine bay, and it went all to pieces. But my point was, that's why I keep a store brand, a local store brand ratchet, local store brand tools, period. Is because I go out in the next 15 to 30 minutes, and this ratchet is replaced, and I'm back on the job. My weekend is saved. I am a weekend warrior at the house, and my weekend is saved. Opposed to me waiting and trying to get in touch with Gearwrench, trying to get in touch with Tecton, trying to get in touch with Cobalt. Good luck with Cobalt. That I'm telling you, I got these boxes here, but if something happened to these, and I'm not going through that process trying to get up with Cobalt, because I've been trying to get up with them with this ratchet here. They warranty sucks. They ignore you, and then it's too many companies that will take on your information and don't have a damn thing to do with Cobalt. They got third parties, companies, parties companies. They'll be bearing that logo and all that. Cause this company I just reached out to, I think it's if you pull up, if you Google Cobalt on Google, it's gonna be the second company that it's sort of like an appliance, Cobalt appliance company. And I got to digging in with them, digging around with them, telling them about my ratchet. And they sent me this information that I got to enter my credit card information and all that. No, this warranty is a lifetime. I'm not putting my, y'all be careful about that too. And these warranties on these tools is lifetime. You don't have to pay them nothing. You don't have to pay them shit. You getting on that website is free. You put all your information in a secure place. That's why I do not recommend nobody doing a Cobalt warranty. Now them tools, if you need them in a pinch, $30 ain't nothing to pay for them. I think that's probably the cheapest mid-grade tool you can buy. But mind you, if you buy that tool, you buying it to its death. You're gonna work that tool to its death. There ain't no it's just like the USA Craftsman. There ain't no replacement. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I mean, when I went on two out of the 3 websites that, and like I said, I started from the third one. The first one, if you pull up Google, your first one's gonna be your most accurate one. And it was giving me a hard time. It gave me a number to call. Could never get nobody on that number. And then when I did reach something on that number, it was a computer. And it was like, for Cobalt warranty, do this, do that. They put me on hold and nobody never answered the phone. After about 35 minutes, I gave it up. And I went to the second one, went to the third one. And 2 out of the 3 that I visited that day tried to scam me. So, I ain't had that problem with Gearwrench. Although they initial website is down. You go on that Gearwrench website, more than likely it's down. But if you reach out to Apex to call them directly, that's what I do. They'll tell you, well, you know we got this online, the hell with that. I'm calling them on talk to a person. This person that gonna screw me out of this money gonna have my name and I'm gonna know her name. So when I draw up a complaint, I'm gonna say, well, this agent right here told me to do this and that. Every time they tell me, if they say, hello, this is Dolores, can I help you? I write that name down, Dolores. And then in some cases, I say, Dolores, if you don't mind me asking, can you tell me your last name? Someone will say, well, I can't get that information out. Well, Dolores is good enough. In that case, I could make a complaint against Dolores, but I can't make a complaint against a computer, robot I don't know nothing about. All of them sound the same. Hello, welcome to Gearwrench. You know, I want somebody that talks like me. But I know I'm doing a lot of rambling, but I mean it's a video, and everything that I'm saying is helpful. Be on the lookout. These tool companies got companies. They don't got them. Excuse me. They don't have them. But it's companies that's mimicking these logos and pretending that they Gearwrench, pretending that they Duralast, pretending that they're Cobalt, pretending that they're associates with Craftsman. Be on the lookout. You don't have to pay a dime. You don't have to give nothing more than your address for that. And like I said, make sure that I like to call. I don't like the computer, because that computer can ask you the same thing that associate act, and before you know it, you done gave your mailing and email address to somebody that's fixing to start sending you junk mail, or somebody that's fixing to lock down the road, try to scam you, try to work a scam out on you. And UPS, same way. I call UPS, got that automated deal, and after that UPS phone, after that UPS, you can tell after that UPS interaction, I got loaded up with junk mail. Before I can get off the phone good, my information was sold. These companies that's mimicking these tool companies, they is scamming. If scam is a scam, even if it's for your information, they selling your information to other companies. They making money off you, off your weekend bobble. They done made more money than you'll ever make just off using your name, email, and address. So, be on the lookout. 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 Be on the l my thing with these warranties is reach out to these companies by phone. You'll know immediately if you're talking to, because if you call Gearwrench and you're not in the right department, they're going to say, well, let me put you over through our manufacturing department. Let me put you over to our warranty claim department. That robot ain't going to say that. That robot going to want your information. Then once you give your information, they're going to throw you on hold for about 30 minutes, knowing damn well you're not going to stay on that phone holding for 30 minutes. They done got what they want. Your email address, your address, your name, your phone number. They got what they want. Now you fix to have DuPont. You fix to have Swift. You fix to have all these companies about cleaning supplies and all that. They finna start calling you because they done what they want to do, sell your information. And that's not the two companies that's doing this. These are companies that mimicking these two companies just to get your information. Call the 1-800 numbers. Know who you talking to. If they don't know what you talking about and you describe your ratchet, you hang that phone up before you give them anything. So that's been my time, y'all. This Shade T Mac, and I'm out. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.